Hello and welcome to another episode of Loresworn Chronicles Crusader Kings, where we are playing as the Kingdom of Curonia and the possibly on his last legs, cancerous, one-eyed drunkard King Akko, the Sword of Gabia of Curonia. He's had a good run. He really probably should let the next generation come up. Nala's already 44. So she probably is itching to make her own mark on the world. We've adopted feudalism, as I talked about at the end of the last episode. We're kind of in this position where we're adopting new ways of warfare, we're adopting new ways of administration. This is making it us somewhat vulnerable to these unreformed tribal pagans. We still suffer attrition in their lands at this point, and plus they don't really have much that's worth taking. We can't really support our economy by raiding other tribesmen and just, looting an odd temple here and there. We really need to look further afield to the settled societies who our tactics will be much more effective against, which is requiring us to kind of adapt our piratical ways, bring in some shipbuilding knowledge from Scandinavia, which is currently what we're up to, is we're waiting to have enough ships built in the now bustling workshops of Kurtzema so that we can take advantage of our new river raiding abilities from our reformed religion to go start raiding some people who actually have money and keep it in places where it's easy to find. It's not this dispersed tribal hinterland where if you go marching in there with a big feudal army, you're not likely to actually locate much of value, and you're going to be getting attacked by bearskin wearing warriors from the woods the whole way there and back, and their wealth isn't all in one place, so you need to stay there much longer than is really worth it to even collect a sufficient amount. So we're going to be speed 5ing it for a while here. Lots of peasants have been moving to Zemgale lately. Our steward suggests building new roads in order to make it easier for peasants to reach the central holdings. Insists that doing so, the county would become more prosperous. So these events are really letting us kind of play out this narrative of this formerly, exactly what I was just talking about, tribal hinterland, is now starting to become a kingdom with, roads and festivals and organized religious life. Let's see. This dude, he loves me, so I don't need to blackmail him. I know my scary daughter is always wanting me to blackmail people, but I don't feel the need to do that. By the way, is Liga a shield maiden? Oh, we can't. I don't think we can assign shield maidens anymore because we're feudal, so we are becoming more patriarchal, unfortunately, but it's kind of a side effect of centralization of power. And we'll talk about that more in this series, in future series, and if you want to really get into it, also on my personal channel, where I'm going to talk about politics a little bit more. Yeah, so I don't think I can build shipyards on a river, right? No, so I need to just keep upgrading this shipyard here and wait for the tech to spread so that I can build more shipyards up here. Let's see. The Chief of Drutsk has died without an heir, so we need to find someone to take that over. Bishka, how about you become the new Chief of Drutsk? Okay, my grandson was murdered on the orders of my other grandson. I'm gonna screenshot that. My 20-year-old, he's the son of Viba, was murdered by also 20-year-old son of Naula. So we already have a large enough dynasty that, we adopt feudalism and everyone starts killing each other. Kariotas, my son, could use some guidance. I definitely want him to be great. To seek greatness. So let's see. Skilled shipwrights are hard at work here, building all manner of seafaring vessels. Knew I made a good decision when I sent my child to Dobroniga's court. I don't know when I did that. Sure. Looks like I have another daughter who can be a skilled warrior. So we probably are going to want to actually eventually pass some of these. Let's see. Women related to the ruler are allowed to be spymaster. Spymaster, Chancellor, Steward. Spymaster, Chancellor, Steward, Marshal. So we have to get up to full status of women to get female commanders back. I think we will actually eventually aim for that. Reputation as a devout follower of Perkunas has refreshed a modifier that you already had on your capital. Chief Bewley feels like I risk too much. Yeah, you can go to hell, Chief Bewley. How old is Maru? Am I gonna outlive him? Heard about the madman who tried to blackmail Princess Viba. I'll help you out, my scary daughter. And there's that thing again. Okay, this should not be popping up. Give me one moment here. Martial education. I specifically turned supernatural events off, and this happened a couple episodes ago too, where something triggered that wasn't supposed to be there. I need to go into the save file and make sure that all of the game rules are correct. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the. We'll leave it for now because that's not game breaking, but just in case, I'll keep an eye on that stuff. Because I think at some point maybe my game rules got reset. Perkunas, God of Thunder. Needs an education focus. She'll be a great warrior. Castle Shipyard has been built in Groben. Okay. Still can't get this one. And that would require Shipbuilding Tech 3, which I'm pretty sure we can't afford yet. We're getting close, though. Okay. Can you hire mercenary ships? Out of curiosity. To, or isn't there like a freaking conscript merchant ships or something? Because we've currently built 2 ships which can carry 200 men. Like, if we're thinking about how many men are we actually going to need to come back with some loot? Let's say we sail down to the Black Sea. 694, the levy of, say we're gonna need like 1,300 men, 1,400. So we're gonna need all 15 of these ships basically loaded up with men to actually start raiding significant sites in the Black Sea. If we go after some of these littler garrisons, that might help. By the way, Constantinople fell. That's going to be an interesting event to talk about in our Chronicle. Yeah, I think at this point we have to wait for these ships to be built. There's not much else we can do until we get some higher tech to get rid of the pagan homeland attrition penalty. I don't want to try to like actively proselytize to any of these pagans because I don't want to lose the Holy War CB on them. They think I should slow down. I think that's ridiculous. Worship the ancestors. Let's ask them for a long and healthy life. Why not? Sacrifice someone in our dungeon. Yep. She's dead. We've lost the brave trait. Jolly great time dressed up as wild men, dancing around chained together and appearing shaggy and hairy from head to foot. Too bad the fun was interrupted when a careless person set us on fire. Maimed and severely injured. Was saved from any greater harm by a courtier. Okay. Some fool poured spirits over me. Why would you pick to become maimed? I'm just gonna do this option. It didn't even hurt me. I'm impervious to fire. Dobrinia has become... Is he not worth any ransom money? I guess not. Or no one can pay his ransom. Let's see. Died under suspicious circumstances. It's my grandson, Chief of Grodno. Interesting. His heir was another one of my grandsons, so I suspect there may have been foul play there. Let's see. Yeah, I'll give it to the guy who probably killed the guy who had the position previously. Finished her education in the ways of war. Yaugutis calls from my name from the other side of the dining hall, standing on one of the long tables, challenging me to a flitting. Yaugutis describes or claims he has scarcely seen a family spawn as many clueless and ugly children as my line. Hey, you take that back. They're only ugly because I forced them to be warriors and they got their faces chopped off. like good children should. He longs for the days he thought me to be an exception rather than the main example of this truth. Okay, so... No warrior is as cowardly as the one between your legs. I believe some of these are actually taken from examples of flitting in Norse sagas, which was basically like Viking rap battle. It's pretty cool if you've never looked into it before. That would hurt him if he was lustful, but he's not. One could hardly find anything bad or good to say about Yaugutis. Envious and shy. He's neither of those things. I suppose being born with so few skills makes mediocrity desirable. Let's see. Tends to be more effective against ambitious and proud opponents. He is proud. Or how does it feel to be the disgrace of your dynasty? Which I can use because he's kind. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. As we spar with words for a while, but soon Yaugutis' face grows red with rage and embarrassment, surrounded by the laughter of the other warriors. Unable to put together a coherent response, my opponent is clearly lost. You know, it was all good fun. I may be a cranky old man, but... everyone is dying before me. Gotta find another non-ruler to take over that spot. Who is not of my dynasty and is not in line to inherit anything. This 16-year-old looks like he'd do a good job. No. Podlasia. There you go. Alright. Reputation has spread across the lands. Awesome. We are stacking up some cash here. We should probably spend it. You know, we don't have a crown yet. Let's get ourselves a crown. Fine goldsmith. Azuolas, my son. Yeah, I'm gonna make all my kids ambitious. He's also shrewd, which is nice. Hey, we have a Peasant Revolt. So, Toivo of the Yervian Peasant Revolt has declared Peasant Revolt for Yerva on King Akko. So this is a Suomensko pagan Estonian. They don't like the institutions that we are building to oppress them as a feudal kingdom, which is understandable, and so they're fighting against us. And, let's see, who is this guy? Erudite, brave, cruel Roth peasant leader, and a tough soldier. All right. So we won. I think we basically won the war at this point. During the last few days, I have overheard the same conversation again and again. Apparently, a most renowned goldsmith is traveling through Curonia, and my courtiers are prattling excitedly about her work. Yeah, absolutely. The goldsmith, Zigna, courteously accepted my invitation and arrived a mere week later. She presented me with some sketches of her previous work and several letters of recommendation. I am assured of her skill, although I ask myself just how much money I can spare for a set of crown jewels. I will order an impressive set of jewels. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we won the Peasant Revolt. I am going to... Can I force him to convert? I can't force him to convert. And I can't recruit him. So I'll let him rot in jail and maybe sacrifice him to Dievas. During the afternoon, I went to check on the progress of Mistress Zigna. I walked in to see her getting my son, Prince Azuolas, to help with the forging process. Together, they were lifting pieces of metal, and Zigna was showing Azuolas how to mold the materials into shape. Not exactly what I am paying her for, but a form of service nonetheless. I will definitely take that. It makes my son stronger. Alright, so Karyotas has become a mastermind theologian. I can make him content, or I can make him humble. I'd rather he be humble. I guess it could be the nettle soup I've started eating lately, or the recent good weather, but I feel invigorated. I even got a compliment today saying I look several years younger. Is this the work of the ancestors? So apparently that sacrifice I made has paid off, and I'm just going to live forever. It's going to be easy to see why people will doubt that my accomplishments were by one person. No, that's not what I want. We've got people looting our temples. And don't like it. Zigna has kept me up to date on the progress of the crown jewelry. I knew they were nearing completion. When the heavy box was brought to me today, I was still momentarily breathless with excitement. Alright, so we got an Obsidian Axe Prestige. The shape of this axe is simple because the material is impressive enough on its own. The head is made from the blackest, glossiest obsidian. Interesting. So this is just a ceremonial weapon. And then, of course, the amber crown. The silver crown is decorated with engravings depicting the gods and fine pieces of amber. We're obviously going to rename this the crown. The Crown of the Forest. Legendarily worn by Akko himself. And it will be passed down. We still haven't found the key to the strange chest yet, either. Alright, what else can we wantonly spend our money on? War sacrifice. Not going to write any books because we don't canonically have written records yet. Expel the chosen of Perkunas from my realm. No. Never going to do that. I can eventually donate some money to them. Let's see. Alright, I am going to first educate my kid. Looks like he'd be a good scholar, or my grandson, rather. And Prince Karyotas wants a fiefdom to govern. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that, I think. Once we have some land to give out. Okay. Let's go deal with these raiders real quick. We have another Shia Caliph. Wait, is he the... He's not Shia. He's Sunni. I don't know what the heck happened there. Not to worry. Alright, so we're going to go deal with these raiders, and then we're going to start probably building up our capital with some of this money. Allowing the band of Adana to grow in numbers. I can seek treatment for my illness. Let's do it. I'm going to keep choosing the experimental option until I hopefully die. My life is in your hands. Dragomir informed you that he had identified the tainted tissue, which was the root of your disease. Removing it would most likely cure you. You were most pleased and agreed to the surgery. However, in hindsight, you wish that Dragomir had told you that the tissue was your face. He actually successfully surgically removed my cancer in the year 821 by cutting off my goddamn face. So I'm now wearing a mask under my helmet. One-eyed, disfigured, severely injured, but I probably won't die of cancer now. Let's see, we have a new warrior in our service. Okay, I'd like to invite you to join me. Okay, yep. We'll go drink to celebrate being cured of cancer. Although the great conversion of Mordvo was a success, my work to help High Chief Virier's savage people to turn them into proper Romulan converts is not done yet. Okay, so I can build them a temple. Or I can just send them some money. Well, I don't really have the money to pay 300 to build someone else a temple, so I'm just going to send him some money. Alright, your gold will be dutifully invested to spread the holy message of Lima. Come on. Fuckers. Okay. Gonna sacrifice this guy to Dievas. We're gonna go kill this army too while we're at it. So we're skirmishing with these nomadic riders out on the plains here who keep raiding our shit. But it's getting harder to defend our furthest borders because the Royal Army has to march all this way. By the way, speaking of Royal Army, could start actually raising a proper household guard here. Okay, who is the most mad at me? It's this guy. Okay, and he turned into a glory hound. We also need another commander. Make sure he's not craven. Looks good. Okay. How's our shipbuilding going? We have 5 ships. So we're getting there. Do we have the tech to build a shipyard here yet? Not yet. Do any of are any of our vassals building shipyards? Not yet. Okay. Fair enough. Board game. He keeps beating me at board games. He's just better at board games than I am. That's just how it is. I do kind of like that going feudal has slowed down our expansion somewhat, because I think it's just going to be more fun that way. Let's see, my son has become a tough soldier. Could be better. He's groomed, he's well groomed, he's kind of a pretty boy, but you know, he's a very good fighter too, so I approve. I approve of my... Is he my youngest son or my second youngest son? He is my youngest son. I do have one other daughter who is not of age yet. And now they both want fiefdoms to govern. Well, we'll work on that. Having long since recognized me as a ruler worthy of praise and respect, Chief Daus Spurgus has decided to dedicate some of his dwindling time to share a speck of his ancient wisdom with me so that I may pass it down to my descendants. I can gain 1 stewardship, 1 learning, or 25 cultural tech points. Let's tell me of the customs of our ancestors. He's passing down ancient wisdom despite being like a decade, more than a decade younger than me. It's like, oh yeah, I knew that. I was there. Let's see. Do nothing for now. Do we even have any factions? This guy wants to implement elective succession. So, our friend Elder Chief Kyra here wants electorship to be based on land ownership rather than seniority and respect within the tribe, which I'm going to try to avoid. Horrific wound from your maiming is now stinking and oozing pus. The pain is debilitating, and the courtiers are avoiding you like death itself. So we've gained an infection once again. Very unusual that I've lived this long. Okay, we have a Danciger Peasant Revolt. These are Slavic, unreformed Slavic pagan Pomeranians. Which, I thought the Pomeranians were... Oh, Zemgale is prospering now. Interesting ideas to improve the economy. Let's do it. Oh, Call to Glory is still available. So, we're kind of starting to adopt a system where we have these piecemeal levies that get sent in from across the land rather than having, you know, each tribal vassal has their band of warriors that they can kind of call on. It's becoming a more formalized occupational military, which is, you know, makes it a little bit harder to respond to threats quickly. At least so far, at least until we kind of grow into ourselves as a feudal state. Let's see, we got rid of the robbers in Yersica, which is great. And let's see, we're up to 6 ships. Peasant Revolt is over. So are these guys of Slavic religion? Oh, I'm getting Pomeranian confused with Prussian. Pomeranians are Slavs. Prussians, the old Prussians are Balts. Okay. I see what I was misremembering. By the way, Sweden's getting wrecked right now. We've got Rondver the Traitor. Looks like Ragnar Lodbrok was killed in personal combat by some mayor named Girl Arm. That was kind of an inglorious end for Ragnar Lodbrok. Now let's see, we could form the Kingdom of Estonia now. But I'd rather use the Holy War CB. Really the only time that I'll form a title just to get claims is if I could take more counties in a single war by doing so than I could otherwise. Encountered hero Alvidas many times while carrying out my duties. Yeah, we'll be good friends. We're gonna be good buds. Let's say upgrading my keep would probably be a good idea. Warrior Gathering Ground. Baltic warriors. Test their strength. Castle Town would increase my tax income. Yeah, let's say some peasants are flocking towards the town for protection. Alright. New recruits. We actually have a pretty good economy at this point. There's just so many sinners at my court. I'm just too honest a person to keep quiet when I see someone with a vice. No, I'm going to speak my mind about these heretics. Flitting! Azuolas! Let's see. I've heard great hilarious tales about your father's cowardice. He's not kind, so that wouldn't work particularly well. I suppose being born with so few skills, let's see, ambitious or proud. He's not either of those. Envious or shy. He's not either of those. I'm just going to use this one because it's the cruel one. I lost my temper. Seeing that I was unable to rebuke Azuolas' insults, he's just too good of a guy. The crowd quickly sided with him, ensuring his victory. At the very least, after I admit defeat, Azuolas calms me down, orders a drink for both of us, ensuring that it was all done in good fun. It was not meant to seriously affect me. I wanted to duel him and kill him for beating me in the flitting, but it doesn't look like I can. Esteemed King Akko of Curonia. So this is the King of Volhynia. Wants to convert to our religion. Alright, the conversion of Volhynia. More people are starting to adopt our faith. Oh, these jokers again. We're just gonna go kill all of them. Though I had thought Dobromir to be a more reasonable man, his request to be allowed to duel his rival was slightly erratic. Of course I'm gonna allow the duel. Who do you think you're talking to here? Damus of Curonia has formed an alliance. Even challenge, as always. Your infection put you in grave danger on multiple occasions. The pain and foul smell finally subsided. I can't be killed. She appreciated my choice of opponent. Finally! Someone is happy that I gave them an equal opponent. Let's see. Let's see. They need money. I could send more priests. This is to Murom. Oh, they've expanded a little bit from the looks of it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I can send them 100 gold. Oh, pagan homeland attrition. All right. Castle town has been built in Groban. Make sure I screenshot that. And then I think, yeah, we have some nomadic raiders out here that we're going to have to deal with real quick. So it's going to be in our best interests to get our vassals. Oh, let's see. Zigna, my granddaughter, has a bastard daughter now, who is born with a religious branch already. So yeah, it's going to be in our best interest to start building up institutions of government and building up ways to combat these nomadic raiders on our borders more effectively. Because now that we're centralizing our society more, they are more able to take advantage of our concentrations of wealth. Another one of my granddaughters has had a bastard daughter, so just receive word, has died. So the Volhynians still officially Romuva, I believe. Yeah, so they're still Romuva. They didn't immediately go back to unreformed paganism. Son was born to my granddaughter. This is Ruta's grandson. Gotcha. Okay. Sacrifice this dirty raider to Dievas. We're going to go home, and I think... Wow, this episode went longer than I thought. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the episode. We have built 10 out of the 15 ships that we need to start go and launch a raid. Tech is still spreading slowly up and down the coast of how to build these river-capable ships. Oh, Thieves Guild in Kurtzama. All because I tried to send money to help convert people. Feeble. And we are dealing with the growing pains of an early feudal society that has temporarily put our territorial expansion on hold. It's a time of wealth accumulation and consolidation, and that is the chapter of history we are in. Only the second chapter of what is to be many, many interesting changes of society and changes of fortune. Anyway, check out loresworn.com. That's our website. We're at Loresworn Order on Twitter. I'm at AsaTJ. That's ASATJ. You can subscribe if you like. Click the notification button so you know when we get new episodes out as quickly as possible. Generally, those are going to premiere around 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Monday through Thursday is kind of the regular schedule we've been keeping to. And I think we'll roll with that for the foreseeable future as well. Likes and comments, all that stuff, all those little engagements help us get seen by more people so you can spread the word about the greatness of Chronicles. We really, really do appreciate it. This has been a long time coming, is getting the channel to this point where it's right on the verge of being self-sustaining, and man, just I am taken aback by the amount of support you guys have shown since the start of the series and helping push us over that line. So thank you, and we will see you next time.